Señora del Camino, muéstrame la vía para llegar al Padre, al lado de tu Hijo. Well, hello everyone from Santiago de Compostela, and you join us in the middle of a most wonderful day. Thanks be to God and Señora del Camino. Great thanks. So yesterday evening, after I recorded the podcast, they were very helpful at the albergue, about 21 kilometres from here, and they gave us a lift down to Mass and concelebrated Mass, and the Bishop concelebrated, and the priest was very welcoming, and again wanted to know where everybody was from, and a real sense of community on the Camino. And then afterwards they took us to the supermarket, so I was able to get some food for the evening and for breakfast and for lunch today, and was chatting with some of the pilgrims while I was having something to eat last night. Then I went to bed excited and nervous. When you get to near the end, the one thing you don't want to do is to fall over after coming so far, but what will be will be. So I woke up this morning and was able to have a good time of prayer, a really good solid time of prayer, just to place everything into God's hands, because special days like this, you know that they can go in lots of different directions, so it really needed to be rooted in prayer. And then after breakfast was set off, it was still in the dark, so I had my head torch on, 21 kilometres to go. We went to, there's an interesting point that's called Gateway to Santiago, and it's about 12 kilometres from Santiago, near the airport. So hearing the planes, I knew that we're coming close. But in medieval times, the gateway to Santiago is where the pilgrims who wouldn't get a chance to have a shower every day, they would have a really good wash and wash their clothes ready to go into Santiago. And then carried on running. So a few people along the way who I'd met, and then got to Monte de Gozo. And if you have a look on the YouTube, you'll see that I've filmed that moment. Such a special moment, 5 kilometres from Santiago, and it's the first time that you see the towers of the cathedral. And apart from the other buildings in the area, that's the same view that the medieval pilgrims would have seen. The first time to see those cathedral towers. And you think that they were setting off from home, it could take them a year to arrive, to come to Santiago, and then they had to walk home again afterwards. So it actually quite caught me. If you know, I didn't quite know how to see, but suddenly I saw the towers. Then I messaged Michael to let him know that I was on my way in, and Sister Mary, who's working in the welcome here. And then he arrived earlier, and he had a friend who from Galicia, I think, who was going to play the bagpipes for him as he arrived. So he said he's going to play the bagpipes for you when you arrive. So he kept running in, and I was thinking, well, I hope I get the right way in to the cathedral. I don't want to miss them. So Sister Mary, and it was just extraordinary. You'll see the clip. If you see it in a film, you'd think it'd be too far-fetched to be real, but that's exactly how it happened. Running into the gates at the bottom of the cathedral. We couldn't go in that way, but then afterwards I was able to go in and say some prayers, and then after having a cup of tea with Sister Mary, Michael went off with his friend. I managed to get into a taxi to go back up to Monte de Gozo, and that was wonderful then, to be able to wait for my brother and sister-in-law, and we walked in together, which was a real joy. And then as we, again, in the film it will look too far-fetched, but this is exactly how it happened. I said, let me go ahead and I'll film you coming around the corner. Film them coming around the corner. The bishop was there ready to meet them, and so we all gathered together for that. And then we went into the cathedral. We went to visit the tomb of St. James, and then the tradition is you've got some stairs and there's a statue above the high altar, so you touch the statue. And then we went and had something to eat and something to drink, and then we went and got our certificates, our Compostelas. That's what you get if you've done over 100 kilometres. So we've all got our certificates, which was great to do. And then we've come back to the hotel to regroup and rest before we go, well, very soon I'm going now to the evening mass, which is the pilgrim mass at 7:30. And then we're going to have a celebratory meal afterwards. Extraordinary day. I can't really do justice in words, but just to say that you're very much with me in my thoughts and prayers. I really felt from going on to Monte de Gozo inwards that now I have some prayers to deliver, and I'm here as a palmer as well as a pilgrim. And I've had a stick with me, which I probably didn't need for the last few days. But I lost my wooden holding cross somewhere along the way. So I've kept hold of this stick because to me that's been representing all your prayers and all your intentions and a desire to be able to take them with me. And so I carried that all the way into the cathedral to the tomb of St. James. So know that you remembered, know that you'll be continued to be remembered, because tomorrow morning they have Mass, English-speaking Mass. The Bishop's going to be the main celebrant at that. And then we'll have lunch together, and then it's time for home. And thanks be to God, I'm very lucky to be coming home to a place where I'm very happy in the parish. So please can you pray for all those who, as they come towards the end of this pilgrimage, are going back to difficult situations, difficult decisions to make that maybe they brought with them on the Camino, asking the grace of God on the Camino to be with them. But really pray especially for them now. And for all of those of you who live in the parish, I very much look forward to seeing you soon. I'm going to my big brother's to see my newest nephew, great nephew, who I haven't seen yet, Rian. And then I'll be back on Saturday, all being well. So, I'll probably do a podcast tomorrow. But very special day. Of Maioram Dei Gloriam, to the greater glory of God. And this whole pilgrimage has been under the patronage of Our Lady. So, Senora del Camino, thank you very much. God bless you all. I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy, and I don't believe He's brought me this far to leave me.